our live Q&A with Mazda Toyota Manufacturing. My name is Hannah Hartline, and I am a communication specialist here at AIDT. AIDT is the state's workforce development agency. We've been assisting new and expanding businesses in the state of Alabama for nearly 50 years, and we're proud to partner with MTM to assist with their brand new startup in Huntsville, Alabama. AIDT and MTM have been working together to train and hire for a variety of positions within their $2.3 billion facility in Huntsville. MTM is a jointly owned and operated automotive plant that will create approximately 4,000 jobs. This startup will have an entirely new production team, 2 new production lines, and produce 2 new-to-market vehicles. We're excited to announce that Mazda Toyota Manufacturing will be reopening applications for their production team member positions on Monday, December 7th at 8 a.m. Today, we're joined by a panel of MTM team members who want to give us a little more insight into working with Mazda Toyota Manufacturing. Our panelists are joining us live from the AIDT MTM Assessment Center in Huntsville. You will notice that they are wearing masks and sitting over 6 feet apart from each other in accordance with the current state guidelines. AIDT and MTM take the health and safety of their team members very seriously. For today's event, the team members are going to remove their masks, which they will do so now, so that you can hear them more clearly and will maintain their distance throughout the live today. Now, I will allow the panelists to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit more about their roles at MTM. We will start with you, Jeanette.
Thanks so much, Hannah. And my name is Jeanette Hostetler. I'm the Vice President of Production for Mazda Toyota Manufacturing. And at MTM, we like to say our safety commitment. So I'm going to start off with that. My personal safety commitment is to encourage others to wear proper protective equipment and just make sure we're safe in the plant and making sure that we encourage others to do the same. So glad that we're all here today. I really want to thank AIDT, Ed Castilla, Christy Bain, and the whole AID team for supporting us. We couldn't have done it without you. So as I mentioned, I'm the Vice President of Production, and I have responsibility for the stamping, body weld, paint, and assembly shops. And so excited to tell you more about that, and I'll let the others introduce themselves as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeanette. Next, we have Jenna.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jenna Husky, and I am a talent acquisition specialist here at Mazda Toyota Manufacturing. My safety commitment is I will follow all COVID protocol to keep myself and my team members safe. As a talent acquisition specialist, I support the hiring, as far as the assessment process, the selection process, and the overall hiring of production team members. What I love working about Mazda Toyota Manufacturing is the fact that we have such an impact on the community. Thousands of careers for people for decades to come. I'm excited about what's ahead, and I hope you join us too.
Thank you, Jenna. Mitch, you're next.
Thank you. My name is Mitchell Hewlett. I am a dojo trainer here at Mazda Toyota Manufacturing. My personal safety commitment is that I will ensure that I provide a safe work environment. My responsibilities here is to support the assembly line and training all new team members and to be safe and quality in their basic skills. What I love about MTM is the culture and the extensive training that they will make sure everyone receives.
Thank you so much, Mitch. Actually, my first question is for you. We'd like you to kick off by telling us a little bit more about your experience joining the Mazda Toyota team.
Okay. My experience joining the Mazda team has nothing been short of amazing. Before COVID, I was allowed to go to many different places to get some of the best training in the world. I even got to go to Japan. Mazda Toyota has made sure that I had the tools and the training necessary to do my role. It also has given me the opportunity to be something bigger than myself. Through volunteer assignments, I was able to assist the community and serve, and that was a great opportunity and my pleasure to do so. Since day one, MTM has definitely given me the Madomi, the care and concern for me and my family. And it's been so much that even my fiance quickly joined to be a part of this team. We were both amazed at how many of the management team started off on the production line. So that gave us the confidence, and we knew that it was going to be great opportunity for career advancement for us. So we quickly joined up and been enjoying the ride ever since. Another good thing about it is we were insured from day one. We had a great benefit package with great 401k. So that was a good reinsurance that Mazda Toyota was invested in us from day one.
Wow, that sounds amazing, Mitch. Jenna, what is the production team member role and what are the requirements for that role?
I consider the production team member role the most critical to the success of the plant. At full production, we are going to have close to 4,000 employees, and production members represent over 3,000 of those, so very critical to our future success. It is a full-time direct hire position. The starting wage is $17 an hour, and the top grow-in wage is $23 an hour plus a shift premium. As Mitch mentioned, great benefits. They start on day one. So MTM invests in everybody from the very first day. That includes paid time off, a medical, dental, vision package, and a really exciting vehicle discount program. In addition, after 60 days, you get that 401k match to start saving towards retirement of 6%. So really invest in you there. As far as requirements, all we're asking is that you're at least 18 years of age at the time of application and have a positive attitude and a willingness to learn. Also able to perform the essential job functions of various manufacturing positions.
Okay, so when you say that, what can someone who's interested in applying expect from this position?
They can expect physically demanding manufacturing duties. That does include standing long periods of time, some lifting included, there's repetitive motion, so physically demanding. There's also utilization of different skill sets. So we're talking welding, there's painting, quality inspection, material handling, machine operation. So a lot of different skill sets to be used throughout the different production departments.
Okay, well, thank you. Could you walk us through that application process? If someone wants to work at Mazda Toyota as a production team member, how do they apply and what can they expect from that process?
The hiring process can take 3 months or more for a production team member. The first step is to go to mazdatoyota.com and apply. So it's submitting an online application that includes an online assessment that reopens this coming Monday, December 7th at 8 a.m. From the online application and online assessment, you will be invited here on site to complete steps 2 and 3, the on-site interview as well as the hands-on day of work assessment. From there, in order to come on board, you do have to successfully complete a drug screen, a physical, as well as a background check.
Okay, could you tell me more about the interview and assessment? You're there at the AIDT MTM Assessment Center. So what can a candidate expect about their day of work assessment and what makes this part of the candidate experience unique?
As I mentioned, the hands-on day of work assessment as well as the on-site interview are both completed right here at the assessment center. The hands-on day of work assessment is just that. It's a hands-on assessment. It really allows our team to evaluate the skills and capabilities of each candidate who applied, but it also allows the candidate the exposure to the type of environment or the type of work that they can expect to perform. It's very realistic job preview. In addition, they will have the opportunity for an on-site interview, so sitting down with one of the members of the MTM team just to discuss background as well as ask questions and express their interest in joining the company. But the MTM member also has the opportunity to share more about the company on our end. The total time that they can expect to be on site here with the on-site interview and the day of work assessment is approximately 6 hours. I do want to say we are very, very grateful for AIDT to bring us this very unique resource as this assessment center. There are very few such high quality assessment centers throughout the nation, and we are very grateful to have one right here in North Alabama, thanks to AIDT in the state of Alabama.
Well, thank you, Jenna. We're definitely always happy to help. Jeanette, my next question is for you. All of the Mazda Toyota manufacturing production team members are on your team. As a top executive at MTM, could you tell us from your perspective what MTM is looking for in a candidate?
I would love to, and really, I think Mitch and the team here has done a fantastic job. Jenna's doing great, and basically, you just got to be like them. But anyways, there's really two aspects to what we're looking for. You know, first is kind of the soft skills, I should say, and that's kind of like the applied learning, positive attitude, attention to detail, because safety and quality are very important to us. Teamwork, you know, you'll learn something called Mendomi here. And what I mean by that is care and concern for members. So, you know, how you treat each other and how we treat you is so important. Your work ethic, tempo, and like I said, attention to detail is very important. So that's kind of the soft skill side. And then we have the technical aspect. So, you know, from a weld shop, how do you make a good weld? Or from the paint shop, how do you seal correctly? And from the assembly shop, we'll teach you things like rolling a bolt, shooting, you know, a bolt or screw. And that's exactly what Mitch does. He will teach you how to do those with a state-of-the-art dojo is what we call it, or training. But we'll be able to teach you those. So, you know, come on in with that kind of attention to detail, positive attitude, and we'll teach you the rest. But we'd love to have you. I'd love to have you a part of my family, my new family here at MTM, and excited to fill all of these roles because we have to make 2 awesome SUVs at the end of this, and we'd love to have you.
I know you guys do have a lot of positions to fill. Could you tell us, Jeanette, a little bit more about why these qualities are important for being on the team and what the MTM culture is like?
Sure, love to tell you. So, you know, our mission is really to build trust and loyalty through innovation and collaboration. We have what I call the 5 8s, which are our values. They're motivate, appreciate, relate, collaborate, and innovate. So those are so important to build this high quality, safe vehicle that we're going to have. And, you know, we'll be starting production, probably the end towards 2021. And, you know, we're preparing for these milestones. We're putting processes together now. We've got great training plans. We check to these training plans. And there's a lot of, like I mentioned, good fundamentals that we're trying to teach the members in order to feel good about what they do and to feel confident about the great quality vehicles that we'll have.
Wow, thank you. You know, with all this planning, Jeanette, I have one last question.
Sure.
How is MTM keeping the safety of their team members in mind during COVID?
Yeah, I tell you, it's been quite a challenge, just like everybody else. And, you know, I couldn't be any prouder of how we've really, of course, taken it very seriously. And I'll be honest with you, I feel really strange without wearing my mask right now because I typically am wearing my mask. But so we require masks, of course, before you actually come in to the site. We take your temperature to make sure that you don't, feel sick. We even ask you, do you have any of those symptoms before coming in? And then at the site, we have sanitation stations. We require to sanitize your desk before and after. And we even have, if you can imagine, plexiglass separating members so that if they need to talk within 6 feet, then they have that plexiglass. And typically, I'll have not only a mask, but a face shield whenever I talk to my members. So we're doing everything it takes in order to make sure everybody feels safe and is safe, because we want you to go home to your families, and then we want you to come back to our family at MTM.
Wow, thank you so much. It definitely sounds like you guys are doing a lot to ensure the safety of your team members, and I'm sure a lot of people really appreciate that right now. Mitch, we'd like to hear some more from you. Could you tell us how working for a startup plant is different from working at other manufacturing facilities that you've worked at during different points of your career? Is it harder or more challenging?
Well, it is definitely different. I'm not walking into a plant that's already established where I can just do a couple training and going straight to work. We're creating a lot as we go right now, and that can be a little challenging. You got to have a willingness to adapt to a lot of changes and be ready for those events. But on the other hand, it's rewarding. Getting to watch this plant start up from the beginning, and I'm being able to put my own input and ideas, and some of the decisions being made here. So that's awesome. Also, it's amazing seeing how fast we're growing. So watching from where we started off with to where we at now is really amazing.
Wow. Um, Finally, Mitch, I do have one more question for you. What would you share with viewers considering applying for a position with Mazda Toyota, and what can they expect on their first day, do you think?
If they're thinking about applying, I would highly suggest to do it. Um, you will be positioning yourself in a great company with great position to go as far as they want in their career. From day one, they can expect a high energy, a lot of madomi, a lot of care and concern, and a lot of great training. This is a highly paced, highly innovative company, and it's awesome to work here. You'll be part of a family and not just going to work at a job.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like Mazda Toyota is a big family, and I love that. Um, I know that a lot of people are looking for opportunities like this, and you know, the opportunities that you guys are presenting are just absolutely wonderful for our state and for our communities. Jenna, for our final question, I do have a question about the timeline for hiring at this point. Where does a candidate apply, and what does that timeline look like?
Yes, Mazda Toyota Manufacturing will resume applications for hiring for production team members on December 7th. That's this coming Monday. You can find the application at mazdatoyota.com. We will continue to accept applications until adequate volume of applications for the current phase is met. Hiring for our production team members will happen in a phased approach. The decision to accept applications for production team members in a phased approach is our commitment to thoroughly review every application and process as we receive them. Hiring will continue to pause and resume in phases based on volume and requirements now through 2022. Interested applicants, I highly recommend getting your application in as soon as possible and check out our website often for any updates. But please don't miss out on this awesome opportunity. As Mitch said, it's extremely rewarding. It's an opportunity to really jumpstart your career in manufacturing, and don't want you to miss out on joining this fantastic team.
Well, that does conclude our panel. We do have some questions that we'd like to answer from our chat rooms and things like that. The first question that I have is, are production the only jobs that Mazda Toyota is hiring for currently?
No, there's a variety of opportunities, and anybody that's interested in any opportunities outside of production can check out our website for any openings, as that's always updated there.
Yeah, I'd like to mention too, you know, within production, we've got maintenance. We've also have engineering as well. And from the administration side, there are some positions for specialists and, you know, whether or not you're into safety or county finance or human resources. So, yeah, there's some opportunity, as Jenna said.
Wonderful, wonderful. The next question that I have here is, how will I know my application status?
I can take that. So you will be communicated through email. So I encourage really stay on top of your email communication from the email you applied with, but you can also log into your application from the website with the username and password you created, and there it will show you if you have any remaining steps. AIDT and Mazda Toyota Manufacturing may make a phone call or use mail if necessary, but usually through email.
Okay. And how long does the process take when from starting the application to being hired? Could you go over that again, please?
Sure. Just based on the volume of applicants, the hiring and processing for production team members can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. We ask that you are patient. We will reach out through email or, as I mentioned, potentially phone with any updates there.
What if you were already through the pre-training and were put into the team leader pool? What does this mean for you? The question is, what if you were already done with the pre-training and put into the team leader pool?
Yes, so based on business need, as far as when the opening is available, you will be contacted from a representative here on site as far as the next steps.
Okay, and what are the physical requirements of this position?
Yes, so you have to meet the essential duties of the job. That does require manufacturing duties that are required to be performed. So as I mentioned, here you will go through a hands-on day of work assessment, as well as you will have to pass a physical in order to come on board. And that includes, as I mentioned, just making sure that prolonged standing, repetitive motion, moderate lifting are things that can be accommodated on the job.
Okay. The next question we have from our live is, I've heard the term industrial athlete. Could you please explain that?
Maybe I can explain that. So, when you think of an athlete does a lot of training, does a lot of both mental and physical work. And that's kind of what we're doing here. And also maybe competitive. I would say, amongst the automotive industry, we'd love to be, of course, very competitive with the other automakers. So I'd say, industrial athlete basically means that you're able to do the duties, as Jenna had talked about, both mentally and physically. You've got that positive attitude, and just like athletes, you may have your ups and downs, and so you're able to mentally and physically get through both the ups and downs, and just being able to meet the demands, and then also feel good and successful once you've maybe done that marathon or you've hit that home run. So I would say that it's a very good way to describe what we're doing.
That makes sense. Mitchell, my next question is for you. What was the toughest thing for you in this process?
The toughest thing for me in this process, nothing was really too tough. I say Japan was a little tough being gone for 3 months, but as far as learning to work, I mean, if you got the willingness to learn and listen, if you're in the assembly production, um, we're going to teach you and get you the basic skills that you need to definitely be successful on the line in this job.
Mitch even learned how to speak Japanese, and he was really good.
Wow. You want to give us a little taste of that, Mitchell?
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Oh, very nice, very nice. The next question that I have is, will Mazda Toyota consider people who live out of town that want to move to Huntsville and work?
Yes, so it's encouraged that they submit their application, and every application is reviewed and processed accordingly.
Okay. And how long do we think applications will be open starting on December 7th?
Until the adequate volume is needed for the amount that we can process.
Okay. Let me see here if I have any additional questions. They are coming in.
Bring them on. Come on, people.
No. If you're hired, when can you expect to start working?
That's after a training period. So at first, coming on board, you go through a great orientation. That is orientation, and then every manager puts you in training. So Jeanette can speak a little bit more into how long between training and actually starting working.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was the question, can you say the question one more time?
Sure. If you're hired, when can you expect to start working?
Oh, okay. So once you're hired, then when can you expect to start coming on board? I think that's the question.
Oh, okay, sure. So when you are hired, as far as extended an offer, then the recruiter or the representative from MTM that you're speaking to will set a start date based on business need.
Okay. Could you please explain the rotating shifts? I'm sure some people have some questions about those rotating shifts.
Sure, I can give some basics and then I'll have Jeanette speak into that as well. Rotating shifts are on a 4-week schedule that includes a day shift and then as well as an evening shift, and it rotates every 4 weeks. The first shift is 7 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. and then the second shift is 3:45 p.m. to 7 a.m. or 7 p.m.
No,
to 3:45 a.m. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 7 to 3:45 and then 7 to 3:45. But yeah, she's right. Every 4 weeks, you'll rotate, and we also have I would say a rotation, or really, I should say, night shift premium that that goes with that. So once you're on the night shift, you do get a premium pay for that.
Okay. Another question that we have here is how many phases of hiring for production team members will there be? And do we have a timeline on when we will be done hiring?
That is going to be opened and paused in phases through 2022. I can't give an exact estimate, but right now we're reopening December 7th, and I highly recommend, if you're interested, please get your application in. That will remain open until adequate volume is reached, and then we will pause so we have a commitment to thoroughly review every application and process timely. And then when we need to, again, based on business need, we'll reopen in phases.
Okay. If a candidate is unsuccessful in being selected, is there a process for applying to on-site and off-site MTM supplier positions?
Absolutely. So if a candidate is unsuccessful, then there's a box on the application to share your information with on-site suppliers. So if you're unsuccessful, that information will be shared with you as far as how to apply with our on-site partners, and then you will be eligible after 1 year to reapply to Mazda Toyota Manufacturing and go through the process again. You will also be given information on how to go through a certificate program to potentially reapply earlier.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you so much. Was there anything else that the panel would like to share before we are finished today?
I would, if you don't mind. Yeah, one thing that I do want to mention from a hiring standpoint, we're very proud to be here in Huntsville and very honored to be a part of this community. And one of the important things for us from a hiring perspective is diversity and inclusion as well. So women, people of color, veterans, whoever you are, please apply as well. I want to give you an example. I'm very proud to say that we'll have mother stations, not only in our offices, but also on the production floor. So if you're a mom and, you need to do what you need to do to feed your baby, we'll have some little pods and also mother station in order for you to do that. So that's just one great example, but I did want to mention that we love our hometown and we want to extend that diversity as well.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. I know that Huntsville is really happy to have you guys there, and looking forward to a long and prosperous partnership with you guys. We'd like to thank you all for being with us today. This does conclude our panel and Q&A. Thank you, Jeanette, Jenna, and Mitch. As a final reminder, Mazda Toyota Manufacturing is opening their production team member positions applications on Monday, December 7th at 8 a.m. at mazdatoyota.com. For any questions or for additional information, you can visit mazdatoyota.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, AIDT.
Come join us. Bye.
Yes, come on down.
Yes.
Love to have you.